You look for the hate.
Do you hate me?
I hate you because you're a bad cop, bro. You're a bad piece of that's what you are, bro.
You want me to cry? You want me to cry?
You're blocking traffic,
Yeah,
sir.
bro.
I'm doing my job.
Okay. We didn't say nothing to
Now,
you.
pero since you're here,
We didn't say anything.
okay, no importa, pero now I'm saying it to you. Since you're here, I want to see both of you IDs.
What?
What? Is this a joke?
No, it's not. Do I look like I'm playing?
Can you call your sergeant?
Both of you IDs.
I don't have ID.
I need ID.
I don't have ID.
So put your hands in there.
Is this a lawful order?
It is.
How is it lawful?
Because I'm
You
giving
know,
it to you.
listen, you
Okay,
know-
okay. So let's talk about later. Your hands
No,
behind your
listen,
back.
listen, you're being
With your
recorded.
hands behind your back.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting.
Your hands behind your
I'm
back.
not resisting.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, bro?
Put your hands behind your back. Come here.
I don't have ID.
I have a set of handcuffs for you.
I
too.
don't have ID. For what? What are you handcuffing him for?
Wait, call your sergeant. Call your sergeant.
I will.
What's the crime?
I will.
Relax.
What's the crime? What are you
What's the
doing?
crime? What crime did I commit? Can you tell me? What crime did I commit? Relax.
Don't worry about it. Come over here, Papa. You're right there.
What are you doing?
Stay right there.
What's your name and badge number? Don't break my. What are you doing? Breaking my arm.
That's the 901, that's 151, brother.
Come over here. Have a seat. Just sit on top of him.
No.
Yes.
I have a question. Why did you throw us in the back seat?
You guys wear handcuffs for my safety. No los iba a tener
Okay.
ahí para que fuera-
Bro, but
para que
listen,
fueran
in
un
the car that you-
espectáculo.
that you
No,
pulled
vamos.
over,
Okay,
This is
hey, papi.
it's very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. Okay, all kidding aside. The one who dictates how I do my job is me, not you.
I didn't dictate nothing.
Okay,
I
so
was
why
filming the
why
interaction
did I
that you-
put
that you- that the
why
car
did I
had.
put you in the back of my car? Why did I put you in the back of my car? Because I wanted to. Thank you.
Wanted you? Can you
Goodbye.
repeat that, bro?
Why did you let us
I
go?
want-
Paying me for what?
Because I wanted to.
It is clear that Officer Heredia Rubio did not have the reasonable suspicion necessary to legally detain the auditors on the street, let alone in handcuffs in the back of a police cruiser. Even if he did have reasonable suspicion to detain them, a court would likely conclude that Officer Heredia Rubio violated the Fourth Amendment by handcuffing the auditors and ordering them to sit in the backseat of the cruiser for 30 minutes. In this situation, even if reasonable suspicion to detain the auditors existed, nothing the auditors did gave any indication that they intended to harm Officer Heredia Rubio or that they intended to flee.
Why did you let us go?
Because I have nothing to hold you for.
So you're telling us we can't stand here? We can't stand here?
Stand there.
All right, guys. So this is what you get. Miami's finest. What happened? If he's coming, we'll wait. But if he's not, if he, well, you know, you can.
Coming. I don't know when he's coming.
Ah,
I
you can.
requested it in front of
You
you.
can tell him to leave. That's
Well,
cool.
this is the
All right, guys. This is what you get. Miami's finest. Miami Police Department. This officer went crazy. He released us. He looked up the statutes. He couldn't find anything to arrest us for.
It is highly likely that a court would determine that Officer Heredia Rubio did not have the authority to order the auditors to identify themselves for exercising this right.
You look for the hate.
Do you hate me?
I hate you because you're a bad cop, bro. You're a bad piece of that's what you are.
You want me to cry? You want me to cry?
You look
That's
like.
gonna get you in trouble, bro.
Really?
Okay, bro. You think that we don't play around, dog.
You don't have your lights on, man. You don't look. You got a car behind you. Put your emergency lights, man. What's going on, Sarge? LT, we got a huge problem with this officer right here.
Calls us to the car.
Why don't you stand over here where I can hear you, man?
Just letting you know what's going on. Stop the car and say, "Leave that puts me in handcuffs, goes me back in the car along with this guy."
When he asked for your ID, did you give it to him?
I don't get
No, we
You always have to give your ID.
no, that's not the
Statute
law.
901-151, and it's a commit a crime about to or has. You know what else?
But you don't know if he thinks you committed a crime, right?
So walking in the
He
sidewalk.
couldn't
Listen
come
to
up
me
with
for a
nothing.
second,
He
guys.
couldn't come up with
Since
anything.
they just put out a bolo right now for a guy wearing all black. You don't know, right? Do you know? I'm just asking. And I don't know if that's what happened. But the problem is you guys got to look at things from our perspective, okay? When something happens and an officer asks you for ID, you can't be like, you don't got no reason. Anytime an officer is conducting an investigation, you got to do what you're told, my friend.
Him sitting on the road.
You are not the person that decides that.
Officer, you don't know the law. You're just talking. You're
You guys
talking
don't
out of
look
your.
police
We're
stuff.
looking at it by the law.
You have no idea what you're talking about. All you know is the boot.
Take that to court and
want
see
the
who
internal
wins.
affairs?
There is some validity to the argument that citizens may not always know why they are being legally detained, as courts will assess whether reasonable suspicion exists from the viewpoint of the officer. Because officers are generally not legally obligated to inform detainees of the reason they are being investigated, it is certainly possible that, as Lieutenant Carpenter suggests, in some instances an individual could think that they were being wrongfully detained when an officer actually has the reasonable suspicion necessary to detain and identify them. However, it certainly does not follow that individuals must surrender their rights and always blindly follow police orders to identify themselves due to this possibility, particularly in situations like this one where Officer Heredia Rubio made it abundantly and unequivocally clear that he was demanding that the auditors identify themselves because they were filming him.
You're a waste.
Have a nice day, sir.
Sir, we have First Amendment protected activity.
After the interaction in this video, the auditors immediately went to the Miami PD's office to quote-unquote peacefully protest and file a complaint. The video shows the auditors speaking to several officers, obtaining complaint forms, and then stating that they changed their minds and wanted to give their complaint in person. Officer Heredia Rubio gets an F for illegally detaining the auditors for engaging in protected First Amendment activity, employing unreasonable and unnecessary restraint by placing the auditors in handcuffs in the back of his cruiser and holding the auditors for 30 minutes while he attempted to find a reason to charge them with a crime. Lieutenant Carpenter gets a C-, because although he was correct in his assertion that reasonable suspicion is determined from the officer's perspective, not the detainees, he blindly supported Officer Heredia Rubio's clearly unconstitutional behavior without taking the time to learn the real story. The auditors get an A for understanding and exercising their First Amendment rights, knowing and citing Florida's stop and identify law, refusing to identify themselves when they were not legally obligated to do so, and quickly taking action to file a complaint against Officer Heredia Rubio and Lieutenant Carpenter.